episode 206. What's up, everybody? I'm JoeJoeKeys. Tonight we're checking out music from Happy Freuds, a brand new review on the website. Their song Chauncey, is that how you say that? I don't know. I'm not good with fancy words. Chauncey. And also Gianna Alessi from New York City with her single On It, another review on the website. And McGuigan, say that 5 times fast in a row. This song Forces, which is another newer review on the website. McGuigan. And we're hanging out with Dave Werba and Mr. Doug Byrkit, who's on the phone right now. He's going to be coming in just a second. Of Odds Lane out of St. Louis. And what's up, everybody? No featured artists tonight. Canceled last minute. Somebody had a wedding on a Monday night. I don't know if that was the truth or that was just a way to get out of the show, but here we are. So it's just the 3 of us tonight, guys. How you doing?
Good, man. Finally chopped my COVID hair off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Not quite to the Doug Byrkit length, but
very nice.
We're getting there. Yeah, we're
Doug
getting
actually
there.
has it in a ponytail right now. You
Yeah,
just can't
it's just
tell.
really tight.
I gotcha.
Really tight. And my hair is very, very light colored. So it's like...
And I shaved today, so
ooh, look at you.
We're all groomed up today. It's a
Yeah.
very fancy episode.
I showered and put on pants and everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was wondering how many, right before we came on, I was wondering how many times I've actually wore this shirt on the show. It's got to be at least 50 times that I've wore this shirt on the show over the last 206 episodes. So
yeah, it has its own anniversary.
It's a good shirt. So let's go ahead and check out Happy Freuds, Chauncey. This video is pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. I actually tried to get these guys to be a featured artist at one point a few months back. I think they're from a different country. I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say Spain or somewhere like that. And I got an email back from them, and it was just some like random blubbering, and I'm not sure what it meant. So we're gonna play them anyway on the show. Hopefully they can get back and be a featured artist soon. Happy Freuds, Chauncey. Let us know what you think in the comments. We'll be right back. I'm gonna keep doing this.
First comes spring and summer, but then we have fall and winter, and then we get spring and summer again.
Life states of despair, persist, simply be there, can't hold the candle, come and go around and around, watch and watch.
I always like videos with good visuals, especially explosions. It doesn't matter the video. It's just cool to watch things explode, especially when it's in rhythm. Happy Freuds, thank you for that visual. Gentlemen, who wrote the review on this? It was the Marty Katie people, I think.
Yeah, the LaFaso crew, I believe. So, Doug, go first, man. What do you think?
Yeah, man, I like these guys. I mean, they seem maybe a little young as far as like the development of the band, but as far as like the music goes, everything they're doing, I like. Like I feel like they could at some point, be like something I would literally listen to on a regular basis. Like they seem like they have a lot of influences of things that I would listen to. I just don't know, and this is for me, just because it seems like they're kind of a younger band, like they're not quite developed where I would want them to be if I was going to be listening to it all the time. But there isn't anything about them that other than I'm like, oh man, they should be a band for a while. And then I think I'd probably really, really like them. But there's nothing, I don't have a whole lot critical about anything to say, other than I just feel like they're
A little green.
a little green, yeah, as far as the music.
Yeah,
but
well,
the video is cool.
yeah.
I really like the video.
Oh,
Like,
I know. That's well said though, Doug. Yeah, I agree with that, man. Just kind of indie rock at its finest there.
Yeah.
Pretty good, pretty solid. It was a good tune, but yeah, the story. So I want to know what your first impression was from the intro, where they put the pill in the old man's mouth. What I was thinking was, and he's watching TV, it's like the pill is going to bring him back to his old days of playing in a band. Is that what you were thinking? What were you thinking?
oh man, I was
like, what does the pill mean to you, man? What's the significance?
I think it was just like the old guys in the home, and they've got him under control, and they're keeping him under control with the pills, but he wants to break out, rock out, so he's watching these, he's like, man, I want to do that, but I'm under under control. The pill. I don't know. I didn't pay that much attention to the lyrics, to be honest.
I think it was like, if I were to have to say anything about that, I think it was like one of their grandfathers or something, and they were just trying to get them to like chill out so they can go make the video.
Or that, yeah, that works too.
Or they were like, Grandpa, seriously, got this idea. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you like Tic Tacs? And
would you be willing to hold 30 Tic Tacs in your mouth and just sit there?
Why we love you, Grandpa. You're the best.
Thanks, Grandpa. All right, so this is when we bring in the featured artist. Normally, there's not a featured artist tonight. Canceled last minute, which is okay. That happens sometimes. So we're going to go ahead and just go right back into another brand new-ish review on the website. This girl's from, I believe, Long Island, but we're just going to say New York City to be safe, because with the name like Gianna Alessi, where else could she be from, right? Am I right or am I right? Anyway.
Am I right?
Her song On, am I right or am I right? That's what I like to ask my piano students.
Sure.
Their song On It. We'll be right back.
Restless, agitated, wanna spend your time with me. Busy lately, 2 weeks gone by since you last saw me. Got no time for movies and wine. Been on the move. Don't mean to be selfish, gotta do me first. Then I put my focus on you. From now on, taking the time for you. From now on, want you to feel understood. All it, I'm all it, giving you all of me. All it, I'm all it, you are my priority. Distracted, barely present, being pulled in all directions. But you are the constant in the madness. You deserve my attention. From now on, taking the time for you. From now on, want you to feel understood. All it, I'm all it, giving you all of me. All it, I'm all it, you.
Okay, Gianna Alessi. David wants to go first on this one.
yeah, man, I really like this tune. It was oh, what happened? Joe was like frozen.
I made that because I was
Rob was
too
frozen.
quick.
Something was frozen.
Rob
No,
fell
this was
for a second.
either her or her producer, someone in her circle are, I think, are like 1980s pop R&B fans. Because like I would think it's her. I would guess it's her, but I was thinking of like Paula Abdul and, you know, Janet Jackson or Shaka Khan, you know, groups like that where it's kind of produced in that style. I mean, it was very well done, and I really enjoyed the song. Super clean, like the muted guitar parts, like it was really, really skillful composition there. But yeah, she's got just a really, really good voice, and I don't know, it's kind of like one of those retro songs in a modern way, where it has a place in today. I hope it gains popularity. Like I'm not sure if it will, just because of having references that far back. You know, it usually kind of has a lot of appreciation from people who notice that, but tends to be hard sometimes to kind of break through and like become a hit. But you know, it does happen. So
musically, there are some cool things that I noticed that were happening that are very typical pop tricks. But whoever was the producer or the writer and stuff, and as far as there's like a place where like there was a beat drop or something, I didn't spend enough time trying to figure it out. Did you hear what I'm talking about, Doug?
Yeah, I think I did. You know, there was definitely like somebody took some time and, you know, was like, all right, we're going to do this way, and we're going to produce this up. I mean, it was very thick and lush, and definitely, like, I agree with David. The instant, I don't know if it was right off the bat, but it was like when it kind of got into that muted guitar, you know, kind of like real clean guitar, I was like, oh, what 80s movie is this reminding me of? You know,
yeah,
it's definitely.
I mean, to me, that's a good thing, because I love that era of music. And
I'm not saying it was bad. It was just like it stuck out of like, what was the Kyrie band?
Mr.
Kind of had that little Mr. like one of those, you know, kind of like things in there. But it was funky too. I mean, I dug the track in general, but the production was definitely either somebody going, we're doing this 80s thing.
Yeah.
Or somebody did. I produced a lot in the 80s. You want me to do this?
Right. Yeah, one of the two.
So, all right. So thanks for giving us your music, Gianna. I hope we hear some more from you in the near future. Moving on, this is going to be the last one of tonight. We've heard this guy on the show before. We've reviewed his music quite a few times on the website. He doesn't have really a huge following and doesn't really have, I guess you could say, everything put together, but he has some good songs. And JJ McGuigan, this is the best one that I could find in the review that was actually kind of blew me away. And with his song Forces. We'll be right back.
Back in a daze again. The only way I know is to let no one else in. So I stuff it down so far I can't remember. I'm surprised to see that it's right back in my face, and it's over now. While the next one's on its way, and what could I expect? Just another breakdown. 'Cause I'm lost in a battle with forces I cannot see. Watching everything I love get destroyed all around me. Stretched beyond my limits while they take what's inside of me. I'm shaking and breaking down from forces I cannot say. And I find everything's alright. So what is it that makes me feel this way? Could it be it's all just in my head. If that's the case, how do I escape? 'Cause I'm lost in a battle.
When did Rob learn sign language? He's like pursing his hands, and he's like,
He's a savant, man. He could pick anything up in like 3 days.
He's like a real
4, 3.
spelling it out.
JJ McGuigan, Forces. I love that song. That's a great tune, man. That's the kind of stuff that he should be doing all the time. Apparently, according to David, the master of the show ceremonies, it's Doug's turn.
Oh
Yeah. It's Doug.
Yeah, no, I like this one too. I think it kind of reminded me a little bit, and I think I've brought these guys up before on this show. Maybe it was even this guy, as long as I've been doing this with you. But a little bit. If you guys remember the band Travis,
Oh, of course. Yeah.
yeah, they were like a kind of alt country, but yet British or Scottish, I think they were, or something.
You
like
did
that.
mention them before too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just kind of had that vibe to it to me. I don't know, maybe anything that has that vibe to me, I just go Travis immediately. But I dig it because that was
It's sort of similar to like Wilco style.
yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
like a Wilco,
Wilco.
alt kind of no depression, kind of alt country kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they were they had a couple hits like in the 90s, but they were since they were British or something over there, I think British or Scottish or something. Well, it's the same thing, but anyway, it just kind of had the more of like that kind of Brit rock influence into kind of a Americana alt country kind of thing. And that's what I get, from this. I listen to this vibe and I kind of hear it's a little bit of British rock, but it's a little bit that Wilco, no depression, alt country kind of sound. But really well done. I dug it.
I was feeling some early Coldplay here, and I say that because I think if Coldplay released this exact song where Coldplay performed it and everything, I don't think anyone would flinch. Like if they heard them sing this, I think it would be like a good fit for that band. I kind of heard, Coldplay singer singing this tune. It's a great song. I mean that's like perhaps JJ's greatest strength here. I mean, it's catchy. Like the chorus is just the way that the guitars, the lead parts. It's really nice song, man. But there's something missing here, man. I think this has happened before with it. Like his vocals were buried here, man. Like they were really down low, and that frustrates me as a listener, and I'm sure it does other people, where everything is sounding so good and the vocals come in and the melody's nice, but it sounded like his vocals were dry too. So yeah, man, I think that was a somewhat large oversight in the mix, because that was a little frustrating to hear. So yeah, definitely pump the vocals up, maybe put a nicer effect on them, that kind of matches the effects of the instruments, at least a touch of reverb in there or something, maybe even a little chorus. And I think this would go to another level in terms of the performance of the song. But overall, yeah, it's just like we're actually talking before we came back. He's like, he's so close, man. I think he's like really close to just having like a monster song where everything matches up, everything's mixed well. It's like boom, and that could be how he kind of breaks out a little here. So
Doug, you headed back to Europe anytime soon?
I don't know, man. I don't think anytime soon. We're hoping to maybe probably heading to Texas in June to do some recording and probably play with Zito some local Texas shows to smaller crowds and social distancing. And all
well, say a few words on the story.
It'll be
Dude.
Yeah.
You left a normal gig when just people standing far and clumps far away from each other.
You left, you went to Europe. Last time you were on the show, you were about to go to Europe for a tour with Mike Zito.
Yeah.
And that as you were out there, that's when the whole pandemic thing started hitting. Just say for a couple minutes, man, that experience flying back, quarantine and all that crap.
Yeah, it was wild, because I mean we left March 1st or 2nd, I can't remember now, but I mean it was 2 weeks, before when we came back on the 15th, I think. Yeah. And so we got over and, flew over, and at the beginning of March, I mean, it existed, and, but it was in China, and, nothing, we're all set and we're ready to go. And we get
So
over.
you still did all your shows out there?
Yeah, we went, flew
Full
in
crowds and all that?
First thing was Norway, and we played, I think, what was it, 4 dates in Norway. Couple were at, clubs. One, we did this one, which is my profile picture that you were commenting on. We played this in studio at this blues museum / recording studio. They actually have the original board from Stax, like the actual mixing board from Stax there. The Norwegians, Europeans love to preserve all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we did Norway, and then we went to Germany, and we played a bunch of shows in Germany, full bore. But then right as we were starting to get close to Berlin was when things started to change, and we were like, ooh, this isn't good. This isn't just China, and well, we're not going to Italy. Everything will be fine. But then as it creeped closer, Berlin was on the 14th. And so we were kind of getting closer and closer. And on the 13th, we played this place called the Blues Garage, which is this wild place that everybody in the world has played, just outside of Berlin. And that night was like one of the first nights where we started wearing gloves, and we're, trying to avoid who we're shaking hands to, and starting to think, I don't know if we're going to make it to the end of this tour, And it went from the 13th after the garage, playing the garage. We were driving Saturday the 14th and it was Friday the 13th, by the way, which made it weird.
Oh boy.
And then so Saturday the 14th, we're driving to Berlin, and it's kind of going like, well, I think we'll be okay to, by the middle of the day, Mike's buying plane tickets back, just as maybe just in case, maybe we should get these. I'll try and get a refund if we don't use them, but I'm going to buy them. And then by the time we got to Berlin and we sound checked, and they changed where we'd play in the venue to like a smaller part of the venue, so we'd have only 50 people instead of like what I think the club was like 300 or something, but they moved us to a smaller place. And then in between sound check and then the show, we had about like 2 hours. So I wandered around Berlin because I'd never been to Berlin before. And by the time we got back to the hotel, got out of the shower, getting ready to walk over, because the club was right by the hotel, getting text, yeah, we're canceled. The German government just shut everything down. And, it's done. And then we had the plane tickets for tomorrow, and we were like, well, God, thank God we bought those tickets. I guess we're going home, and they shut everything down, and then got up on Sunday because our flight was like at 10 a.m. or something like that. And, we drive.
And that was to come back to the U.S.?
That was coming back to the U.S. And that
so you got back to the U.S. okay, and then what happened once you were back?
Well, so we're flying back, when we left Berlin, you get on the plane and everything. Like, oh, we got on the plane. They haven't shut the borders yet. I mean, they shut the borders 24 hours after that.
Oh, man.
We got on the plane. We're heading, towards New York. And, they're like, well, we want to speed this along. There's all these new things, and here's your papers to fill out for customs and all that. And by the time we landed, they changed everything while we were in the air.
Wow.
So when we landed, they got new papers for us to fill out at the gate. And then we get out, and, we flew into Newark, and we get out, and Newark wasn't too bad. But I mean, it was like, they're herding you down hall. It was like a zombie movie. And they're herding.
No, dude, I remember, I was aware of your presence during that time. I'm like, wait, Doug is he's in transit. I wonder what's going on with. Wonder if he's gonna have to live in Greenland for 3 months or something.
The worry was, man, it's like, we're gonna get in Newark. Somebody's gonna have a temperature, and I'm not gonna get off. They're not gonna let me get on the next plane to get back to St. Louis, and I'm gonna be living in a motel in Newark, for 2 weeks or
on your dime too, probably.
Yeah, exactly. They weren't going to pay for that shit. So anyway, so got back. Luckily, nobody had a temperature. Got through customs. Got through CDC. Got through all that stuff. Got on the plane to St. Louis. landed and was like, but they gave you all these things of, 2 weeks, do not leave your house, not, don't, like you can go to the grocery store and wear a mask. I mean, at that time they didn't know, and they were like, don't.
But
leave.
it was just all it was a request at that time, right?
No, it was just a request.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But they were supposedly calling, the police department, letting them know that you were there. I mean, it was just so weird.
Wow. All right.
Because I think when all the schools closed was like the next week. So like I was sitting at home like watching everything shut down, and I was like, well, I just came from all of that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was weird. It was bizarre. It was, definitely an interesting experience, to say the least. So there you go. That's
Cool,
my
man.
story.
Alrighty. Well, that was exciting. Any
Hey,
final
man,
words,
it's
gentlemen?
It's a touch of history. We can look back
Yeah.
years from now and be like, hey, man, there's a nice summary of.
Oh, I saved all
What
my
happened?
my customs forms and CDC stuff. So
Yep.
I'll have that forever now.
Ooh, bring that next time for show and tell.
I will.
Alrighty. So, Doug, thanks for hanging out with us tonight and telling us your stories. And next time you bring your slides too. We'll watch those too.
All right, sounds good.
Any final words tonight, Dave?
No, man, good times. Feeling sharp. I think the world is starting to get somewhat back to normal, at least the
Yeah, we'll
U.S.
see.
Stuff's opening, shops. I mean, I think people are going to have PTSD for probably like 3 years on this whole
Yeah.
experience.
A lot less people will be going outside in the near future. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So no show next week since we moved to Mondays. That means next Monday is Memorial Day, so we'll be taking next week off, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Then thanks for hanging out with us, and have a good night, y'all. We got Hixvideo.
Agitated, wanna spend your time with me. Busy lately, 2 weeks gone by since you last saw